can communicate with us 414-672-8090. Excuse me. Or email sac@sacmilwaukee.org. All of the information is also found in the comments. So please don't hesitate to share your opinions. We would love to hear what you have to say. And remember that the points of view and the opinions that are shared here are not necessarily those of SAC. Finally, I would love to know who is with us. If you could just take a minute for a comment, an emoji, any questions that you guys might have, please just let us know, interact. Now we're going to have a check of all of the guests that we're going to have for the rest of the week. On Thursday, we're going to have a Representative Cabrera and Amanda Avalos. They're going to be talking about a new proposal in the legislation about the commission, the Fire and Police Commission. And then Friday, we're going to have Larissa Williams. She is the communications director for the community for the fire department of Milwaukee. And they'll be talking a little bit about fire safety and how to protect ourselves during the winter. So today, the interview that we have is Alberto Maldonado. Mr. Maldonado is the director of the Roberto Hernández Center at UW-Milwaukee. And he's here just to update us about the start of the school year at UW-Milwaukee. And now let's get to the main interview. Hello, hello. Hola. Your microphone's turned off, Alberto. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation, and it's great to see you. It is a pleasure. I know that the invitation was a little quick, short notice, but it is great to have you here with us. And it's great to talk to you and to see you. Yes, of course, you too. As an ex-alumni of UWM, Alan, it's always great to see you. I very clearly remember when you came from Madison and we, conversed, and now look at how you've integrated. It's great seeing how well you're doing. Thank you so much. And of course, it's great for me to be part of the school and enjoying all of the services that you guys offer. I was thinking right now that so much has changed since I graduated. And now it's been a year, very complicated, so many changes. But we're here now. So I'm so enthusiastic to be here with SAC, especially after graduating UWM. Well, let's get started with some of the questions. If you could explain a little bit about your position at UW-Milwaukee and then also the Roberto Hernández Center. Of course. To everybody that's watching, hello to everyone. I have the privilege and the honor of serving as the director of the Roberto Hernández Center. That didn't only, just help me as a student when I was at UWM many years ago, but now I have the privilege, like I said, to help other students. Today, the center has a very long history. This last fall, we hit 50 years of being here, helping the community, helping the students, and day after day, just trying to better the conditions for the students for Hispanic students at the university and their families, of course, right? Family is so important, especially with the work that we do, because too frequently, the decisions we make, we have to run them by our family. So we help people at an academic level, of course, support academically. Gabriela and Rebecca, who are our counselors for academics, everything that has to do with being involved, engagement, culture, socioculture. There's also a very important role in the student's life as well. And then finally, we see how we can influence the administration, our colleagues, our professors. I also, other than being the director, I'm also coordinator of the initiative to organize the number of Hispanics at the university. Underneath the federal act, they're trying to increase the number of Hispanic students up to 25%. Today, we're at 13% of the students of the BA, the bachelor program, are Hispanic. So more than 2,600 students right now. And that's been great. And then when we see 50 years ago, there was 12. So the increase has been exponential. But that also comes with a very big responsibility because our students have very particular needs. And it's so important that the students are able to reflect, to communicate with the faculty. And we work with that daily with the promise to help and to find more resources for our students. That's so great. I love the statistics, just knowing a little bit how our community is represented at the university, especially from a state position. I would like to know, and you mentioned it a little bit in the previous question, but what are the goals or the mission of the organization? Well, the Roberto Hernández Center, since the beginning, has always had the goal of being a spot inside of the university with doors open to the Hispanic family, to the community. And so we are the bridge between the community and the university. Our goal is very clear. It's always been for our students to graduate and be successful. It's one thing to have a big community, but come to the university, it's a huge responsibility to make sure that they are here, that they're comfortable, that we can retain them so that they can graduate, especially in a realistic timeline for them. And we also want them to be part of the university. That's part of our mission. We want everybody to be connected to the whole experience, not just to the Roberto Hernandez Center, but to the whole experience. And we are a resource, remember. And we are part of a much larger initiative, which is to keep building resources, whether it's financial, academic, and then, of course, part of our mission is also is to increase the opportunities the research work, especially in reference to our Hispanic community. We want to not only have people here 4 years, but to go to graduate school, to go into professional programs, that they keep climbing everything that has to do with their experience work, their academic work. Sometimes just their BA and they finish, but we want more students to see the possibility of, you know, doing research, to write articles. We want them to reflect on all of the different aspects. Of course, another comment that I have, what you mentioned in the beginning, talking about having people feel part of the university. For me, that was key. And I can say that with the experience of having been there, you get more, you have, when you have more representation, you feel more supported when you have a system that supports you. And then, of course, the social support too, knowing that there are people that also are Hispanic, that also speak Spanish. In my case, people that were part of the DACA program. And it's nice to say, like, wow, I'm not the only person here. I want to know a little bit about the resources that you have. What do you offer as far as resources? Who can go to the center? Can we talk a little bit about that? Of course, of course. Very good question. Everything that I'm going to say under the context of, we haven't had to like reinvent everything with the pandemic, with the aspect of moving to a virtual community, but we are still offering the same quality of services. Like was said before, Gabriela and Rebecca, they're the academic counselors. Obviously, they're offering their services. They're essential for the students, especially in these difficult times, because they can have a conversation, intimate conversation about their academic experience and, you know, bring any issue or any situation. And then, of course, have a conversation with somebody that, you know, looks like them. As you're seeing on the screen, there are different chat options for these students. We're also having diverse conversations about how to manage your time, how to connect with different resources for jobs, and then how to handle everything that's happening in questions to mental health. And then finally, like I've said before, we are the kind of service that's comprehensive, holistic. We don't only talk about one thing, we talk about all different aspects. And all of those are, we know that we can count on somebody here at the center to be able to help you. Another thing that we do, like I mentioned before, is the financial part. Obviously, that worries a lot of people. And the cost of the university, and the cost keeps going up, and different elements keep increasing. So we do have an emergency grant. It was created 10 years ago. Every year, we offer 20 or more of these scholarships or grants. They're for emergencies for students. So it's a crucial resource for Hispanic students. And we also always need more help. So it's important for families to use us. Come in, contact us, see the help that's available. And then finally, or next, I should say, you're also seeing on the screen, we're offering virtual chats weekly, Tuesday in the afternoon, Saturday in the morning, where we're inviting families of the students that are new at the university or that are in the process of applying to the university, if they want to know about the services that we offer. So the history of the center, who are we, who's the staff and the personnel, and then what kind of activities the students from the beginning can be part of to connect. When I came to UWM, these were the things that I'm going to be able to participate in. And then lastly, we have, of course, different kinds of celebrations. And then, of course, talking about different themes. We have to, of course, help all of our undocumented students. We have different initiatives where we're trying to amplify the help and the resources that already exist. So we're conscious and we're always looking about to see what else is happening to meet the needs of the students and the families of our students. We every semester try to look for different ways that we can have a bigger impact, how we can help our students to stay in the university and graduate, of course. Excellent. Thank you. I don't know how I can say this, but it does take a lot to take someone and to take them through all of the steps. I mean, there's lots of resources, lots of information. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't fans of saying, hey, I'm going to the university, but these steps are so crucial. And the time that's needed, it's not simple. It's not simple, especially for Hispanic families that maybe haven't been through this before. So this is a great resource that can be used. Yeah, of course. We recognize that most of our students are the first ones in their families or are the first in their families to go to a university. So we recognize that, and we try to not only take the family by the hand and the student, but use the process to educate them, because all of the situations are individuals. Every family's situation is different. We always try to be conscious of giving everybody the information that they need, but then at the same time to help them understand the premise that they're making. And family is an essential part of the experience that the student's going to have. Us as Hispanics, family is central in all of our decisions and all of the decisions that we make, especially as we're, forming as an individual. It's something that we understand, and we try to be conscious of those needs. And then to also have an opportunity throughout the week, throughout the semester, where the family can come to an open house event or, different events throughout the year, different programs that we're going to have. We're trying to plan things for the semester. And then, of course, during the orientation, before school starts in the summer, we take the steps necessary so that the families can come in and see, okay, there is somebody that speaks my language, right? They understand me, or maybe they've been through something similar. It's really important to know that. Perfect. Before we get to the next question, I would like to know, what are the programs that the university offers? You mentioned research work in our community. So, and that maybe there's programs where the families can get involved, or things that we might not know about. Maybe somebody wants to study to be a engineer, or, a lawyer. But what are all the different programs that the university offers to be able to do research in our community? Well, there is a huge number of resources and programs that are supplementary to the experience, to the classroom experience. There are programs offered through the Office of Employment Opportunities. So, like you mentioned, research programs is something that the university takes very seriously. It's part of our mission at UW-Milwaukee. That's research is part of it. Research and access to the community and to our students. And we also talking about research in general, independently from what the student's studying. It could be nursing or dancing or social work. There will always be a research project going on with a professor within the community. So we have an office that is exclusively dedicated to these research. So they can participate in any research that they would like to participate in. It's something unique to us, to our university. As a center, we want to increase the number of Hispanic students that are taking advantage of those opportunities. Another program is the McNair program, Robert E. McNair. It's also offered with paid opportunities. So while you're doing research, you get paid. And so it's an incentive, a monetary incentive. So lots of these opportunities come from or could come with a very small salary or a stipend that will help the students while they also learn new abilities. And who knows, your name could be in a publication or an article or a book. There's always opportunities, really great opportunities. Other than that, thinking about different things like opportunities to travel to different parts of the world and study to complement what they're learning at UWM in a different country. So that is a little bit limited right now, but hopefully things will get better and then those opportunities will open back up. There are a lot. Before the pandemic, we had connections with more than 170 opportunities to travel to different parts of the world. So the opportunities are infinite, really, for our students to complement their experience here at the university. And then finally, well, I mean, there's a number of other things. Organizations for Hispanic students. I mean, talking about sororities, fraternities, Latino student union. So there is a huge number of ways that students can not just, go to school, read a book, do their homework. There are different opportunities to develop. Also, we employ students here at the university. There's numerous different things. In a normal year at UWM, there's about 5,000 students that actually work at the university. And that's useful for so many things so that the students can grow in a leadership aspect. And then also it benefits us, everybody. It benefits everybody working and studying at the same time. All right, let's go to a question. Somebody had a question. What programs do you have for people with disabilities? Very good question. And I failed to mention that there is an office that is dedicated specifically, exclusively to those services, to any student with any kind of handicap, whether it's a vision problem, physical problem, if they're in a wheelchair, dyslexia, any type of things. that office is there. They have personnel to help take care of those needs, and then to create, right? To create any kind of accommodation that student might need so that they can have the best possible experience at UWM. Another thing that I didn't mention is the tutoring programs. Sometimes student says, I have to take tutoring because it's not going well for me in class. The tutoring is for the whole world and it's free. So there are lots of opportunities for students. It's not that you have to get a bad grade on a project or on a class. It's not the end of the world. There are lots of opportunities for students to benefit from one-on-one tutoring, small group tutoring, to take part in a discussion that happened in a class. There is no excuse to not do good in school because the resources are everywhere and they're free. Everything that we offer is through the Roberto Hernández Center and the other offices. And it's a free service that exists for students to promote the academic excellence of the students. Now, one of the questions, a little more difficult because we are in the middle of a pandemic. I want to know if now that students have started class, how do they have access to these resources? So can they go to the campus and there's resources are there? Is everything online or how does it work? Great question. Well, to start, we should understand how everything is configured right now. 25% of the classes are at the university, but 75% of classes are virtual online. I am a father of two kids in the university, one at MATC, and the other is a freshman at UWM in his first year at UWM. So last semester he was here, and now looks like he's going to completely be here at home virtually for his theater program. So the university, from the beginning of the pandemic, since the spring of last year, we started, like I mentioned previously, reinventing the way that we are offering these services to the students. And we create virtual spaces and we redesign instructions for the classes. So what you're going to find today at the university, most of the classes are in person, are like lab classes, like science lab classes, that there's no other way that you could do it. Those are the courses that are primarily at the university. But generally, most of our students are studying from their home or from the residences there at the university. We are only at 45% of the capacity, 45% of capacity for the residential areas. So everybody's learning virtually. So how do we offer these services? I can speak personally from my experience at the center. Gabby is offering appointments with the students one-on-one virtually through a platform that's called Teams. And there you see each other through video, you talk to your academic counselor, and you just chat like if you were in person. And that's how it works. Most of the university, the professors offer their classes different ways. Some of them are hybrid, where they're partially in the university and partially at home taking their classes. And then the same way, we have information that lives in different parts, where we try to be super interactive using videos, one-on-one with the students. And then we also try to create flexibility because not everybody can do everything the same way. We do want them to learn, but at the end of the day, we want them to enjoy the inversion. But at the same time, we also want people to understand everything that's happening. And we're talking about mental health. We have services for a student that can get involved with different organizations. We have spaces where the students can talk about other things. It has nothing to do with classes, anything that they're interested in personally. And lots of students can also keep working. In the jobs that I mentioned earlier, we as a university can support the students so that they can work from home, planning events in a safe way and in a virtual way. That's changed. I think that this has changed everybody's life all over the world, but recognizing that we have to create different ways to do things for classes, for other ways to communicate with the students, and be flexible so that the student comes out a winner. And it's difficult. It's everybody's going through it. Even me as a professional working from home, it's been 10, 11 months, and I had to reinvent things also, how to take care of myself, how to do certain kinds of things to keep moving forward. Of course, absolutely. The last question before we finish up, and of course, you can say anything else that you would like to add. Do you have any news or invites or events? Anything about the university, opportunities, or what stage are we in right now? What's happening? Well, I think that the university has a very important role in offering spaces where they can do the COVID tests. They're being offered there at the university. I think it only takes like 15 minutes for an appointment to do your tests real quick. So we're very conscious of the most important is the safety of the student. We always have in mind what the scientists are saying, what everybody else is saying, what the government's saying, the CDC here, the Wisconsin government, following the guidelines of the governor. We don't want to accelerate anything if we don't have to accelerate anything. I think that personally, and speaking for my colleagues, we hope that by summer, most of the population will be vaccinated, and then for for fall, we'll come back to some kind of normalcy where students can come in and take their classes in person. And then, of course, there's the flexibility. If somebody has a preference of working hybrid, hopefully we can do that with them. The hope is that for the fall, we can return to some kind of normalcy, the normal that we've known for the last 23 years. And then, of course, all the resources that everybody needs. We did a program of giving or borrowing computers to students so that they have access, because lots of families don't have the resources or they don't have a personal computer. So we're continuing to look for resources for emergency grants for our students. And we're going to keep doing it as long as we need to. We're going to be in the process of looking for more resources because there's a need there. It's so important for the students. I think the most important thing is that the student feels safe, informed, that they keep using their masks at all moments, just like all personnel. And for gradually we'll be able to come back to a different kind of reality, maybe in fall, and be able to give a warm welcome back to a lot of students that weren't able to be here on campus. I think that's about it. As a center, we are committed to our students, to the community, and we're going to keep looking for different ways to create space where families can come in, they can talk to us, we can give them the services that they need. Thank you so much, Alberto. Such great information. Anything else that you want to add? Well, as I mentioned in the very beginning, we have a few events coming up virtually this spring. One event that we do annually is the graduation gala for all the students that are going to graduate. Every year, more than 300 Hispanic students graduate from the university. So we will be celebrating the students, the colleagues. Will be virtual. So we will have, the title is Promoting Academics in Latino Milwaukee. There's the date, April 30th, Friday. Save the date. We will be sending more information all throughout, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're always offering all the information for all of our events. So if you can't make that one, maybe there's another one. You'll find information about our grants and our scholarships. All of that's on our website and our Facebook and Instagram. And you can always call the Roberto Hernández Center. Our number, I'll put it here again, is 414-229-6156, 414-229-5679. You can call, make an appointment. If you want to meet with me, if you want to meet with an academic advisor, we are here to serve you. Thank you so much, Alberto. And thank you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. I wish you all of the best in your new position. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye. That was Alberto Maldonado, director of the Roberto Hernández Center at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. So now let's say hi to some people that are commenting. Let's start with Maritza Garcia. Hello, hello. Thank you for being with us. Leroy Hope. He is one of our young organizers here with SAC. Dulce Martinez. Hello, hello. Who else? Patricia Hernandez. She had a question. Thank you so much for your question. And then Joanna. Joanna was saying thank you so much to Alberto. Now we're going to do an update on COVID. Maybe. Oh, I'm Dr. Fortuna from the 16th Street Clinic, and today I have some suggestions to protect your family if somebody in your is sick with coronavirus. First, wear a mask. That is the most important thing to prevent passing the virus to other people. Number two, if you can, try to maintain a separate room, so stay far away from the person. It is okay to take off your mask if you are alone in a room, but when you go out, use your mask again and be sure to wash your hands. Also, if you use things or touch things that other people are using, it's important to use a disinfectant afterwards. Number 3, if you need to take care of children or cook for other people, it is okay. Just wear your mask, wash your hands very well, and that will lower the risk of passing the virus on to other people. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this helps to protect your family. And like we were saying, and talking about the pandemic, unfortunately, we are going to keep taking all of these precautions, washing our hands, wearing our masks. There are very important steps to take. Now, a civic update. Hello, I'm from Patreon Latino, Tono Latino. We are here to encourage everybody to be involved in politics. Gerrymandering is a very unfair way to give one political party more power than another. And this happens. Unfortunately, the government has to decide the districts to find out how many representatives the cabinet has. That is usually decided by the population numbers, which come from the census. This is super important because it's a way for people to have a voice in the government. Since 1911, there have been 435 representatives in the cabinet. But who makes these electoral districts? In most cases, it's the state legislator. And unfortunately, lots of times the political party that's a majority is the one that makes the districts, but they do it in an unjust way to be able to help them stay within power. So, one example, completely invented, rhetorical. Let's say 60% of the population is Democrat and 40% is Republican. Imagine that state has 5 representatives in the cabinet. So that means 3 Democrats and 2 Republican representatives. So I'm going to show you a way that we could divide the district in 5 different districts in a fair way, and then different ways that they can be divided unjustly. The problem is that this isn't invented. I'm going to show you in this video examples of gerrymandering extreme that are happening right now, and you are not going to believe the numbers. So this is how gerrymandering works. This is a completely invented scenario. So we have the 60% Democrats, 40% Republicans. So if that territory had 5 representatives, that means 3 would be Democrats and 2 Republican to keep up with the distribution. So I'm going to show you guys one example about how this district could be divided justly. So here we go, the district territory. 1, 2, 3 districts, congressional districts, blue or Democrat, and 2 Republican. That would be a fair way to do it. So now let me show you 3 different ways to create the districts that would favor one group or the other. This example, as you can see, it's very extreme. We have 5 districts and all are Democrat. So in a territory like this, the Republicans are going to feel like they don't have any voice. But let me show you another way. It's still unfair, but there will only be 4 Democrats and 1 Republican. This is another division very significant. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 congressional districts, and only one of them is Republican. Now, I want to show you guys how this can be divided in a way that even though there's a minority, they still have more representation, with 3 representatives in the Republicans and 2 Democrats. The difference, and this took a lot of time and attention. As you can see, all of this, it is a Republican territory. And then we have another one here, and another one here. So 2 districts of this imaginary territory would be blue. All right. As you guys saw, that's a very short example of gerrymandering. It's definitely complicated and hard to wrap your head around, but it's definitely something that it's a process where, as a community, we need to know. And then also, if it happens in our state, we have to fight so that those injustices don't keep happening. So now I have an interview that it was recorded previously. The interview is with Esteban Escobar. He is a public ally with Imagine MKE, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his organization. Hello, Esteban. Thank you so much for being with us. You're going to talk to us a little bit more about your position with Imagine MKE, and then a little bit about what Imagine MKE is. Yes, thank you for the invitation. My name is Esteban Contreras, a public ally, and my service is with Imagine MKE. I'm the communications associate there. The mission of Imagine MKE is to connect and amplify culture and art in the city of Milwaukee. Art and culture can transform Milwaukee in a positive way. And now, all 50 states, Wisconsin is in last place for financing public art. That's why leaders, organizations, and members of the community got together to try and resolve that problem. So we want artists to be able to live off of their art, to have opportunities, frequent opportunities to participate and show their art. I think a lot of people know about Milwaukee because they know we like beer, we like the cheese, we like hot dogs, and that is very true. We like it a lot. But how can we change that so that people also know Milwaukee as a city that's focused on art? And that's what we try to show people. We want members in the community and other organizations to be part of the planning and the execution. Very good. You have a very noble cause. Can you talk to me a little bit more about the programs that you offer? Well, like I said, Imagine MKE is an organization that focuses on connecting people. So we have work groups. So there's 4 work groups, and each one of those groups is directed by a personnel member, which it can be a member of the community, an art leader. One of those groups will focus on promoting art to better security problems, health problems. This year, we're associating with Layton Park, Muskego Way, Burnham Park, Clark Square. Estos so that we can work more in the parks and the public spaces. So that could be in music, that could be theater, painting, different kinds of arts. We also are focusing on bettering the appearance of different neighborhoods. So houses that need new paint, different stop signs. It's also important that residents are involved and that they know that there are resources for the community. Also, during the pandemic, there are lots of artists that lost their work because their events were canceled. And that's why Imagine MKE started to raise funds, which for the Artist Release Fund. And those funds are for artists that need money to sustain themselves during this time. And then, of course, for people to receive those funds, we're always receiving more applications. So if somebody wants to donate, you can just go to imaginemke.org. Thank you so much. One question about the work groups. So is this something that the public can be part of, or? Yeah, so the work groups are special because we want people to participate. We want them to, we want them to be part of it because it's so important for people in the community to plan. And we want them to help make decisions because they know what's best for their community, of course. So obviously we want people to help better, their neighborhoods, and all they have to do is come and be part of a work group. So is there a requirement, or how do we communicate? Let us know. We'll give people all of your contact information. Of course, if there's anything else that you want to tell us about Imagine MKE, the best way to communicate with us is to go online. So if you look to Imagine MKE on Facebook, on Instagram, you can also find us at imaginemke.org. As I mentioned, our work groups are open to anybody. Also on our website, you can donate. It's all inclusive for all people. So remember that you're donating to a cause that's inclusive. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I think Alan's microphone is off. Oh, here we go. That was Esteban Contreras, the communications director from Imagine MKE. If you guys are interested in helping Imagine MKE, if you want to donate, or if you want to be a member of the group that they're in, that they're creating, you can communicate with him. Also, I want to remind you that we have our link for our survey so that you guys can tell us, how things are going with the forum. If you have a suggestion, a change that you would like to see, we are right now taking all of the information that you gave us last year and trying to make a new forum with the changes that you asked for, with the suggestions that you made, all of the ones that we got last year in 2020. So now we're going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. Thank you for asking your questions during the interview. Has this forum been informative for you? What part of the forum can we change or make better? Let us know responding to a quick survey that can be found in the comments section. That way we can keep the forum going for residents. And thank you for tuning in. Hello, SOC viewers. I am Marisol Diaz, Communications and Digital Manager. We would love to thank everybody that has supported our 3 o'clock with SOC forum and those have filled out the survey. Apart from thanking our residents for tuning in and sharing our program, we also want to thank all of our sponsors, which are Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grants, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zilber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, State Infrastructure Fund, Wisconsin Partnership Program, and all of the faithful people that have supported SOC through their personal donations. Thanks so much.